glow just thinking of you. Worst places to wait. Does it go away?
Does what go away?
Being here.
Linda Pearl vanished from Matlock at the height of its success, and for decades fans whispered about bitter feuds and behind-the-scenes drama. But the truth? It's far more fascinating than any tabloid rumor. What she did next shocked Hollywood, and it might just change how you think about career success forever. I'm about to reveal the real story behind one of TV's most mysterious exits. And trust me, you won't see this ending coming. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why walking away from millions of dollars was actually Linda Pearl's smartest move. The numbers that don't lie. Let's set the scene. It's 1986, and Matlock isn't just another legal drama. It's a cultural juggernaut. We're talking about a show that dominated Tuesday nights like nothing else on television. Picture this: 20+ million viewers tuning in every single week. That's not just a hit show, that's a cultural event. Families gathered around their TV sets. Water cooler conversations the next morning revolved around Ben Matlock's latest courtroom victory. This was appointment television before streaming ever existed. The Nielsen ratings? Consistently in the top 10. NBC had struck gold, and they knew it. This wasn't just good television, this was a money-printing machine for the network. And at the center of it all was Andy Griffith's triumphant return to television. After the Andy Griffith Show made him a household name, he had taken years away from weekly TV. Matlock was his comeback, and America couldn't get enough of the folksy, brilliant defense attorney in the rumpled gray suit. For Linda Pearl, landing the role of Charlene Matlock, Ben's daughter and legal partner, was the kind of opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. She was positioned perfectly. This wasn't a guest spot or a recurring role. This was a series' regular position on what was clearly going to be a long-running hit. The show was her golden ticket. Think about what this meant. Steady work for potentially 7, 8, maybe even 9 seasons. National recognition. Her face in millions of homes every week. The kind of job security that actors literally pray for. A guaranteed paycheck that would set her up financially for years. Industry insiders were calling it Linda's big break. At 31 years old, after years of grinding through guest appearances and small film roles, she'd finally landed the role. The one that would define her career. The one that would make her a star. Everything was perfect. The ratings were soaring. The chemistry on set was working. Audiences loved the father-daughter dynamic between Ben and Charlene. Critics praised the show. NBC was already planning for multiple seasons. But here's where it gets interesting. After just one season, 22 episodes, Linda Pearl made a decision that left executives, co-stars, and fans completely baffled. She walked away. No warning, no dramatic exit storyline, no public explanation, just gone. When Season 2 of Matlock premiered in September 1987, Charlene Matlock had vanished. Different actresses rotated through as Ben's legal partners. And Linda Pearl? She disappeared from the biggest show on television. The rumors started immediately, and they spread like wildfire. She clashed with Andy Griffith. There was bad blood on set. The producers fired her. They weren't happy with her performance. She couldn't handle the pressure of a weekly series. There was a salary dispute. She demanded too much money. For years, decades even, these theories circulated in Hollywood circles and among devoted fans. Entertainment journalists speculated. TV historians debated. Fan forums argued about what really happened. But every single one of them? Wrong. The real reason Linda Pearl walked away from millions of dollars and guaranteed stardom? It's far more fascinating and far more courageous than any rumor could ever capture. The artist's dilemma. Here's what actually happened, and it's something Hollywood doesn't talk about enough, because admitting this truth exposes an uncomfortable reality about the entire industry. Linda Pearl was dying creatively. Not because Matlock was a bad show, it wasn't. The writing was solid, the production values were high, and the show was beloved by millions. Not because the cast was difficult, they weren't. Andy Griffith was professional, the crew was talented, and the working environment was respectful. She was suffocating because her character had nowhere to grow, and she could see her entire future mapped out in front of her, episode after episode, year after year, and it terrified her. Let me break down the 3 critical factors that led to her decision. Factor number 1. Character limitations. Charlene Matlock was written as the supportive daughter. Sweet, reliable, predictable. Her function in the show was clear. Be Ben Matlock's emotional anchor and occasionally assist with legal research. Week after week, Linda showed up, delivered her lines perfectly, and watched Andy Griffith command every scene. She'd have her moments, a concerned look here, a supportive comment there, maybe a small subplot about her personal life. But the show was called Matlock, not Charlene. She was a supporting player in someone else's story. She wasn't being challenged. She wasn't being stretched. She wasn't discovering new depths in her craft. She was being comfortable. And for an artist like Linda Pearl, someone who trained in classical theater, who studied acting as a craft, not just a job, who grew up immersed in the arts, comfortable felt like creative death. It felt like slowly watching your artistic soul atrophy while your bank account grew. Factor number 2. The typecasting trap. Linda could see the writing on the wall with crystal clarity. She'd been in Hollywood long enough to recognize the pattern. Stay on Matlock for 5, 6, 7 seasons, and she'd forever be Charlene from Matlock. The industry would box her in. Casting directors would only see her one way. She'd watched it happen to countless TV actors before her. Talented performers who became so identified with one role that they could never escape it. One successful character becomes a career prison with golden bars. Think about it. After playing the sweet, supportive daughter for 7 years, would directors cast her as a complex villain? A gritty detective? A troubled artist? The industry doesn't work that way. They want you to be what they already know you as. Factor number 3. The opportunity cost. This was perhaps the most painful realization. Every single day Linda spent on the Matlock set, every hour in hair and makeup, every scene she filmed, every table read she attended, was a day she couldn't spend auditioning for challenging film roles that would stretch her abilities, performing in theater productions that would reconnect her with her classical training, exploring her lifelong passion for music and jazz performance, taking risks on complex, difficult characters that scared her, growing and evolving as a multifaceted artist. The decision came down to this brutal, unforgiving question. Do you choose financial security or artistic fulfillment? Most people choose security. The mortgage needs paying. The retirement account needs funding. The steady paycheck is too tempting to refuse. Linda Pearl chose herself. She chose growth over guarantees. She chose artistic integrity over comfort. And that choice changed everything. When courage meets consequences. Let's be honest about what happened next, because it wasn't all sunshine and artistic breakthroughs. The reality of Linda's decision hit hard, and it hit fast. The first year was brutal. Linda left Matlock in 1987. The show continued without her, seamlessly replacing Charlene with different characters. First Keen Holiday as Tyler Hudson, then Nancy Stafford as Michelle Thomas. The message was clear. The show didn't need her. Matlock kept dominating the ratings, kept making millions, kept proving that it was Andy Griffith's vehicle, and everyone else was replaceable. And Linda? She faced a harsh new reality. Her agents were questioning her sanity. "Do you understand what you just walked away from?" became a recurring conversation. In an industry where steady work is rare and hit shows are rarer, voluntarily leaving felt incomprehensible to people who measured success purely in dollars and stability. Industry whispers started circulating that she was difficult. In Hollywood, there's a code. Actors who leave successful shows get labeled unreliable, high maintenance, not a team player. These whispers don't appear in trade publications. They happen in casting offices, at industry lunches, in the quiet conversations that determine who gets auditions and who doesn't. The auditions she expected? They weren't materializing at the volume she'd hoped. Leaving a hit show doesn't automatically open doors. Sometimes it closes them. Casting directors wondered, if she walked away from Matlock, would she walk away from our project too? And then there was the financial uncertainty. That guaranteed Matlock paycheck was gone, replaced by nothing certain. Rent still needed paying. Bills still arrived. The safety net had been voluntarily removed, and the fall felt terrifying some months. But here's what separated Linda from actors who regret their decisions. She didn't panic. She didn't call her former producers begging for her job back. She didn't compromise her vision when the reality got uncomfortable. She stuck to her principles even when they hurt. The pivot strategy. Instead of desperately chasing another TV series immediately, trying to replace one comfortable prison with another, Linda did something unexpected. She built a portfolio career. She returned to theater, her first love. Regional productions that challenged her range, plays where she could disappear into complex characters, stages where she wasn't the girl from Matlock, but simply an actress exploring her craft. She strategically took guest roles on multiple shows: Happy Days, The Love Boat, Murder, She Wrote, and others. Not as a series regular, but as a way to showcase her versatility. Each role was different. Each character proved she could do more than play the sweet, supportive daughter. And perhaps, most importantly, she started seriously pursuing her music career. Jazz had always been her passion, something she'd loved since childhood, but never prioritized because acting consumed everything. Now, she had the freedom to explore it. The critics were wrong. Remember all those agents, executives, and industry insiders who said she'd ruined her career? Who predicted she'd fade into obscurity? Who called her decision career suicide? By 1989, just 2 years later, Linda was landing substantial film roles that showcased her dramatic range, recording jazz albums that earned critical praise, building a reputation as a serious, multifaceted artist, not just a TV actress, proving that there's life, rich, fulfilling, creative life after leaving a hit show. The gamble was starting to pay off, not in the way Hollywood typically measures success, but in the way that mattered to Linda: artistic fulfillment, creative growth, and the freedom to define her own career path. The hidden talent. Now here's the part of Linda Pearl's story that most people don't know, and it's absolutely fascinating. Linda Pearl is a jazz singer. A really, really good one. Not a celebrity who dabbles in music. Not an actress doing a vanity album. Linda Pearl is a legitimate, critically acclaimed jazz vocalist. How this happened: Linda grew up surrounded by music. Her stepfather was Ray Buchtenica, and she was exposed to jazz legends from childhood. But acting always came first, until Matlock. Leaving that show gave her the time and freedom to study with vocal coaches, perform in intimate jazz clubs, record professional albums, tour with established musicians. Her jazz career highlights: multiple album releases, performances at prestigious jazz venues, collaborations with renowned musicians, critical praise for her interpretive style and vocal control. The lesson here? Linda didn't just leave Matlock to find more acting work. She left to become a complete artist. She refused to be one-dimensional in an industry that demands you stay in your lane. And here's the beautiful irony. Her music career actually enhanced her acting. She brought emotional depth and timing from jazz performance into her dramatic roles. She became a better actress by refusing to only be an actress. Diversity over fame. While Linda's former Matlock co-stars were locked into their characters for 9 seasons, Linda was building something different. A career defined by range, not repetition. Post-Matlock acting achievements. Film work: appeared in multiple independent films. Took character roles that showcased dramatic range. Avoided typecasting by constantly switching genres. Television diversity: guest starred on 30-plus different series. Played everything from comedic roles to dramatic leads. Showed up on Happy Days, The Love Boat, Murder, She Wrote, proving her versatility. Theater returns: performed in Broadway and regional productions. Tackled classical roles and contemporary pieces. Maintained her stage skills while building screen career. The numbers tell the story. Between 1987 to 2020, Linda Pearl appeared in 75-plus television episodes across different series, 20-plus films, countless theater productions, multiple music albums and performances. Compare that to staying on Matlock. 9 years, 1 character, 1 show. Which career sounds more fulfilling? Personal life and advocacy. The love story nobody saw coming. Linda's professional reinvention is impressive, but her personal journey? That's where the story gets truly inspiring. The Patrick Duffy connection. In 2020, during the pandemic, Linda Pearl and Patrick Duffy, yes, Bobby Ewing from Dallas, reconnected. They'd known each other for years, but timing was never right. Then, everything aligned. Both were established in their careers. Both had lived full lives with previous relationships. Both understood the entertainment industry's demands. Both were ready for genuine partnership. They went public with their relationship, and fans were delighted. 2 beloved TV stars finding love later in life, supporting each other's artistic pursuits. The advocacy work. Linda didn't just focus on her career and personal life. She became an advocate for arts education, supporting programs that bring music and theater to schools, mentoring young performers, speaking about the importance of arts funding, food security initiatives, partnering with organizations fighting food insecurity, using her platform to raise awareness, contributing time and resources to hunger relief programs. The bigger picture: Linda Pearl built a life that mattered beyond Hollywood. She proved you can be successful without being constantly famous. You can have impact without being on a hit TV show. What we get wrong about success. Let's circle back to Matlock for a moment, because there's an important lesson here about how we measure success. The conventional wisdom says, stay on the hit show. Take the guaranteed money. Build name recognition. Leverage that into more opportunities. Linda Pearl's path says, leave when you're not growing. Bet on your talent, not your comfort. Build a career that fulfills you, not just pays you. Success is about artistic satisfaction, not just visibility. Who was right? Here's the thing. They're both right, depending on what you value. If you want financial security, steady work, name recognition from one iconic role, then staying on Matlock would have been the smart move. But if you want artistic growth, diverse experiences, a career that reflects your full range, a life that integrates all your passions, then Linda made the perfect choice. The real mystery solved. Linda Pearl didn't leave Matlock because of drama. She left because she understood something most people don't. A comfortable cage is still a cage. She chose freedom over fame, growth over guarantees, fulfillment over familiarity. And decades later, she's living proof that the risk was worth it. So, how did Linda Pearl end up? She ended up thriving. The mystery of her Matlock disappearance was never about a feud, a firing, or a failure. It was the quiet, courageous choice of an artist who refused to be creatively sidelined. She bet on herself, walking away from the security of a hit show to seek experiences that would truly fulfill her. What other classic TV mysteries would you like us to solve? Let us know in the comments below. And for more deep dives into your favorite shows, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update.